New details from a criminal complaint against the man who police say sexually assaulted a UW student over the weekend and how his attorney is responding to the accusation. Plus why Wisconsin Democrats are spending millions to protect a judge from a possible impeachment effort. And an actor best known from That 70s Show is sentenced to decades behind bars after being convicted on 2 counts of rape. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. We are getting a look from inside the Dane County Jail of the man who police say is responsible for a violent sexual assault that sent a UW student to the hospital over the weekend. Brandon Thompson, at times putting his head down as he heard the accusations read from a criminal complaint against him and learning he's staying in jail unless someone will pay $1 million to bail him out. Dane County prosecutors call this attack one of the most horrific sexual assaults in recent memory. It happened early Sunday morning in the area of West Wilson near South Bedford Streets in downtown Madison. News 3 Now has been giving you updates along the way on the aftermath of this attack in our community. Armand Ramani continues our coverage, sharing what else we learned from inside that criminal complaint. Armand?
Eric, the officers responding to the attack Sunday morning also called the woman's injured state one of the most horrifying things they've seen. Now we're getting a clearer picture of what those injuries are.
I'm going to set $1 million cash bail because I don't think the public can be protected without a very significant cash bail.
26-year-old Brandon Thompson hung his head from a cell as a Dane County Court Commissioner decided to hold him on $1 million cash bail.
This defendant is obviously, from the complaint, you can see alleged to have committed one of the most horrific sexual assaults in recent memory here in Dane County.
The survivor, referred to in the criminal complaint as Jane Doe, was taken to the hospital with her eyes swollen shut, strangled, and with injuries from sexual assault. Doctors later found bleeding in her brain. Detectives report that people living on Wilson Street called 911 Sunday after a man calling himself Brandon was going around to people's homes saying he found a naked and bloody woman in the street.
Before police arrived, he did run off.
In city and county surveillance video, investigators saw a man matching Thompson's description get out of a Chevy at Brittingham Park. The car was seen later turning onto Bedford Street before the attack. The license plate was registered to Thompson, who was pulled over hours earlier.
The sheer randomness in which it occurred.
After being arrested, Thompson allegedly admitted in an interview he, quote, saw red when he came across the woman. He stated, "She came across a monster. I went into a rage, and when I came to, she was on the ground." When asked if he could have sexually assaulted her, Thompson stated, "I could have."
That at this point, even this early in our investigation, we have uncovered some evidence that is inconsistent with the state's narrative.
His defense attorney, Emily Bell, says they're investigating that interview, among other facts.
I don't know under what conditions my client was interrogated. I don't know exactly what it was he said or how it was he said it to see whether or not those were constitutionally gathered statements.
Thompson's defense said $10,000 cash bail was high enough for a recent college grad with no criminal record. The prosecution asked for $2 million. The county commissioner met them in between. Thompson's next court date has been set for September 25th.
Armand, thank you. And we want to share that if you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, there are resources standing by to help. Madison Sexual Violence Resource Center has a 24-hour hotline. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is also available 24/7. Both of those numbers are right there for you on your screen. A live look right now at the Beltline. On this Thursday night, we saw cooler temperatures today, but a slight warm-up is on the way for the weekend. Meteorologist Alex Harrington tracking what you need to know in his first warn forecast. Alex.
Yeah, Eric, a slight warm-up is definitely in the forecast. When we'll take the temperatures, we'll take a look at those. Let's see those 10-day forecasts. This is what I want to show you here. Look at those temperatures by the time we get towards Saturday and Sunday. We got football games. We got the Ironman coming up. Remember, just 1 week ago, we were looking at temperatures, forecasting them to be in the 90s, that extreme heat. Nothing like that in this forecast. Temperatures actually at times below normal. So a little roller coaster here from the upper 60s going up into the 70s by the weekend. Then we dip back down and we kind of go right back up with average high temperatures this time of year right around 77. Clouds that we got out here right now, they're holding temperatures up just a bit into the lower 60s where we can get some of those breaks in the clouds tonight. Temperatures will dip down a little bit more into the 50s. Again, 63, 64, pretty popular number here across Dane County. Very comfortable. Great night if you want to take your dog out for a quick walk yet for the evening. Just a gorgeous night for that. As we plan your Friday temperatures, though, they don't warm up too much. because we have clouds, and we'll be tracking those clouds coming up in Maine weather. Hey, I would love to see those weather photos. First one at WISC-TV.com. We'll show another one of those weather photos from one of our viewers coming up in just a few moments. And well, let's do a little breakfast forecast here. If you're going to pull yourself a bowl of cereal in the morning, maybe some weather Wheaties there. Temperatures right around 55 for the start of work and school. As you chow down that cereal, temperatures around 57 by 7 a.m. And then by the time you get to work or towards school, temperatures right around 60 degrees. Again, we'll track the clouds departing on your Friday. And if we got some rain in the forecast, that's coming up.
Alex, thank you. New tonight, authorities arrested an eastern Wisconsin man for allegedly assaulting a law enforcement officer inside the U.S. Capitol during the January 6, 2021 riots in Washington. 40-year-old Jason Catani of Colgate, that's just northwest of Milwaukee, is facing multiple charges. Video from inside the Capitol shows Catani grabbing a police officer's face shield before pulling it up and down to jerk the officer's head around. He then pushed his way into the Capitol, where he stayed for 18 minutes before leaving. These are some of the images authorities used from inside the Capitol to identify him. Catani becomes the 10th person arrested from Wisconsin on charges connected to January 6th. Tomorrow wraps up the first week of school for Madison school district families, but some parents tell us they are still having trouble with school buses. Take Vanessa Alexander, for example. She tells us she waited at the bus stop for 3 hours yesterday, waiting for her grandson to be dropped off. When the bus finally did arrive, she was told her grandson fell asleep on the way home from his second day of kindergarten, and the bus driver simply didn't notice.
I said, is he on the bus? And he said, yes. Oh, he's sleeping. When you're at your last stop and you haven't checked the student off, then you know there's somewhere on that bus. Did you get up to go check? He says, no, that's not what we do.
Well, MMSD's new school bus provider, First Student, says all buses are equipped with an alarm system to prevent drivers from missing sleeping children. First Student says its biggest issue right now is staffing, but they hope to solve that problem by increasing pay for drivers and offering a $3,000 signing bonus. Wisconsin Democrats are taking to the airwaves and putting boots on the ground to protect newly sworn-in Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasewicz. They are spending $4 million on a campaign aimed at making sure Republicans don't impeach her. Republican leaders say they will consider impeachment if Protasewicz does not step aside when the court hears a lawsuit challenging Wisconsin's voting maps. They say it's because she has demonstrated bias on the issue, citing comments she made during a candidates forum before the election.
They do not reflect the people in this state. They do not reflect accurately representation, neither the state assembly or the state senate. They are rigged, period.
Now, Republican lawmakers haven't said if they're on board with impeachment, but they also haven't denied it either. Protasewicz, being elected to the Supreme Court back in April, gave liberals a new 4-3 majority. Airports across Wisconsin, including Dane County Regional Airport and Truax Field, will be able to upgrade their infrastructure thanks to money from the FAA. 4 airports were given more than $23 million in total from the Airport Improvement Program. Both the Dane County Regional Airport and Truax Field received more than $6 million to reconstruct a taxiway. Appleton and Rhinelander airports also received money for upgrades. Nearly 4 months after the death of a Monroe County canine, its former handler has now been charged with intentional mistreatment of an animal. This is Canine Colt, who sadly passed away at the VCA Animal Hospital here in Madison while undergoing treatment for a heat-related injury suffered back in May. Detective and canine handler Alex Moss was placed on administrative leave at the time and resigned shortly after Colt's death. Moss will make an initial court appearance in Monroe County next month. A criminal complaint says a Madison man has been arrested in connection to a deadly crash on West Washington Avenue last month, was driving drunk at 80 miles per hour just 4 seconds before slamming into another vehicle. 25-year-old Alex Young has been charged with homicide for the August 9th crash at West Washington and South Park Street, which killed an 83-year-old man. Police say at the time his blood alcohol content was .146. The White House says First Lady Jill Biden has now tested negative for COVID 3 days after she first tested positive for the virus. The First Lady has been isolating in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware since Monday night. Her symptoms were mild. President Biden has tested negative daily since the First Lady's diagnosis, according to the White House. A jury has found former Donald Trump advisor Peter Navarro guilty in his contempt of Congress trial. The verdict includes 2 counts of the crime. The first is for failing to turn over documents to the House January 6th committee. The second is for failing to appear for testimony. Each count comes with a minimum sentence of 30 days in jail and a maximum of 1 year. Navarro could also be fined up to $100,000 for each count. Sentencing won't take place until January 12th. That 70s show actor Danny Masterson will go to prison for 30 years. That is the sentence a judge delivered this afternoon after he was convicted on 2 counts of rape in June. The incidents took place at his home between 2001 and 2003 when Masterson was at the height of his popularity, portraying Stephen Hyde in That 70s Show. Masterson was accused of 3 counts of rape, but the jury was deadlocked on that 3rd charge. His attorneys say they plan to appeal. Authorities in eastern Pennsylvania say there have been at least 8 confirmed sightings now of a convicted murderer who escaped from prison last week. Today marks day 8 in the search for Danilo Cavalcante, who was sentenced to life in prison 2 years ago for the murder of an ex-girlfriend. Surveillance video released yesterday showed Cavalcante crab walking up a wall in the prison's exercise area.
This is an outrage. This should have never happened. You know that I was the prosecutor who was assigned to this case, and I helped convict this man, and he was sentenced to life without parole. We're all upset.
Police have a large perimeter set up as hundreds of officers search for Cavalcante in Chester County, Pennsylvania. They also believe he's been breaking into homes for items to help with his survival. The United Auto Workers Union is furious at General Motors, calling its latest wage offer, quote, insulting. GM offered its workers a 10% raise. That's a fraction of the 40% the UAW was asking for. The union says General Motors has refused to bargain in good faith for weeks and only came back to the table after the Federal Labor Board filed charges against the company. For context, the Teamsters recently secured a 48% wage increase for UPS workers. Also, the Union for American Airlines pilots got its members a 46% pay bump. Auto workers are threatening to walk off the job next week if a deal isn't reached. More local stories are just ahead at 10. The 115th Fighter Wing of the Wisconsin Air National Guard celebrating a big milestone today at Truax Field as it looks to the future with its newest fighter jet. Stay with us.
We need to talk about Sonobello.
We are getting rid of all of this today.
Ladies, this summer you can cover up or feel confident from head to toe with Sonobello. One visit permanent fat removal.
Look at this shape. My tummy is gone and my hourglass shape is back.
Wherever there's excess fat, we can remove it. That's what we do all day, every day.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I could actually wear a 2-piece after 25 years.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Now, with our Best Buddies summer event, you can schedule your free, no-obligation consultation, plus save $250 off instantly. That's $250 off your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more. Call 1-888-634-9939 or go to sonobello.com.
Summer is ending, but the savings are endless at Bob's Discount Furniture. With 6, 12, 30, and 60-month financing options and new everyday low prices to make shopping my highly rated living rooms, best-selling bedrooms, and stylish dining sets even more fun. Not to mention my world-famous Bobapedic mattresses. With yummy treats in my cafes, with cookies, coffee, and ice cream for the whole family.
And great candy, too.
Great indeed, Balloon Bob. Soak up the savings in store or online because the sun never sets on Bob's Discount.
Save big money and get 11% off everything at Menards. Upgrade your home with quality appliances from brands including Criterion, KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, and Amana. Menards has the largest in-stock appliance selection ready to take home today. Get this fingerprint-resistant stainless steel Whirlpool appliance suite and save over $1,800 after sale price and 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
It's the 100th episode of the Jennifer Hudson Show. Let's celebrate, y'all. Mr. John Legend is here. And of course, he's gonna sing something for us.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. Your
watching News 3 Now at 10.
A celebration of 75 years for the 115th Fighter Wing at Truax Field this morning. Since 1948, the Fighter Wing has served not just Wisconsin, but the United States as well. It has flawlessly executed 9 combat deployments over the past 17 years. Today, military and community leaders gave remarks about the Fighter Wing's impact, including Governor Tony Evers.
The airmen of the 115th Fighter Wing are truly embedded in this community, and they take their roles not only as airmen, but as neighbors, as friends and leaders. They take that very seriously, and I have seen this firsthand.
Earlier this year, the wing received its first F-35 aircraft and will build up to a total of 20 to have in its inventory at Truax throughout the next year. If you have an iPhone or iPad, update it immediately. Apple is urging users of those devices to update their operating systems to fix a vulnerability that hackers may have already been exploiting. The security flaw exists in iOS 16.6.1 and should be updated to its newest version. Experts say iPhone and iPad owners should immediately go to the settings menu on their devices. From there, select General and then your software update. Tap Install now to begin that process. Snapchat says it's working to make its app even safer for your teenagers. Company says the new features and policies are aimed at better protecting 13 to 17-year-olds. Those new safety features, including restrictions on friend suggestions and a new system for taking down age-inappropriate content. This comes as lawmakers, educators, and parents are putting more pressure on social media platforms to protect young users. As incoming college freshmen have now left home for the first time, parents are helping them prepare for the many new challenges they could face. Health experts say many kids who go to college simply don't know where to go if they need medical help. Dr. Richard Nye, a primary care provider with SSM Health, says it's important for kids to know if they are sick, when to seek help, but there are things parents can do to set them up for success.
Have your parents help you figure out insurance and what places can accept your insurance. Try to set up with a primary care in your new town where you're going to college. And if worst comes to worst, you can always call your old PCP and see what they think.
PCP, meaning primary care provider. Parents should also walk students through their medical history and help them put together a wellness or first aid kit. As temperatures cool down and summer fades to fall, you may find yourself soon visiting a pumpkin patch. But this summer, of course, has been one of the driest we've seen, and that is impacting some pumpkin farmers. Pumpkins need 1 to 2 inches of water per week, especially during the fruit set. When the pumpkin plants don't get this, it can change how many pumpkins each plant can grow.
Most of the time you can put seeds in the ground and Mother Nature does her part and takes care of them, but this year, not at all. So it took effort and time away from other things we could have been doing on the farm here, but that's just part of farming.
At Enchanted Valley Acres there in Cross Plains, they're getting ready to open for the season on Saturday. They say they were following the summer's rainfall trends and then adjusted their own watering schedule to make sure the pumpkins would grow nice and large. And meteorologist Alex Harrington always keeping an eye on those water totals. We're getting cooler, but it's staying dry, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, even though we got temperatures cooling down, water,
no rain,
not going up. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of that in the forecast either. Maybe a little bit Saturday going or Sunday night going into Monday, but it's not going to be enough to put a dent in the drought, unfortunately.
But it's feeling like fall.
It is feeling like fall. Actually, this weather graphic I got here kind of looks like fall. We got a whole bunch of cool air across much of the United States. Good pumpkin weather where there are the pumpkins out there. We had those just moments ago in Enchanted Acre Valleys, just west of Madison. Look at all this blue here. Cooler than normal temperatures expected as we march out all the way into next week, going into next weekend. This might actually, in a part of our weather news, there's a big hurricane out to the east in the Atlantic. This cool air might help keep that hurricane offshore. We'll be keeping an eye on that, of course, as we move out over the course of the next week. Beautiful scene here. This helps to tell our weather story. When it's cool, you got that cool air over a warm lake. You kind of almost get some steam coming off of that lake, as you see here, this picture taken in Lake Mills. Thank you, Tanya, for sending us that. Pretty easy to do. I'll step away here just for a second. First Warn at WISC-TV.com or the First Warn weather app. You just submit those and we'll get those photos here on air, just like Tanya's photo just a couple moments ago. Beautiful temperatures out there right now, upper 50s, lower 60s. When you have clouds out there, those clouds help to hold those temperatures up at night. Right now here in Dane County proper, we got a 63 in Madison, 64 in Verona, 64 to the west out towards Enchanted Valley Acres in the Cross Plains area. And we'll see temperatures tonight in the middle 50s. Looks like 55 is going to be the popular number, though a couple areas off towards the north and the west in the upper 50s. Again, the clouds helping to hold those temperatures up a bit. But look at this as we go into your Friday. You'd think the temperatures would warm up a little bit more, but when you got clouds out there, that doesn't let the heat from the sun to get down to the ground to warm things up. So temperatures may only stay in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. So we'll be tracking the clouds moving out of the area as we go further and further into your Friday, maybe not even until the late afternoon hours. Areas to the south and east of Madison may not see the sun until very late in the day. Those areas that do could see those temperatures get up into the 70s. Those areas that don't might stay in the upper 60s. Again, as we move out, as I was just telling Eric, towards Sunday evening, Sunday night, look at the green across the area. Maybe some pitter-patter chances across the area. We'll take all those drops we can get. Unfortunately, though, not looking like a big rain, at least not at this point. That rain chance Sunday night going into Monday, maybe a couple showers lasting on Tuesday would be it. Then we go into that dry pattern, staying cooler than normal as we head out towards the end of next week, going into that next weekend. This is good though, game day forecast here. Look at this Friday night, Verona at Middleton. Kickoff temperature at 67 degrees, halftime at 64. End of the game at 60, so no clouds, no rain. Enjoy the game. And then as we head out towards Sunday, picture perfect weather for the Ironman. I know a couple people who are participating. We'll see temperatures starting off in the 50s, then warming up into the lower 70s, maybe mid 70s by the afternoon. And I know in some of those past Ironman competitions, it can be a doozy temperature wise. This time around, looking pretty good.
And coming up in sports, the Brooms were out at the Fieldhouse. How Wisconsin swept away Arizona with ease. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes! Everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So let's gear up for it with an SUV like the Ford Bronco Sport. It has a terrain management system with 5 standard GOAT modes, so you can go over any type of terrain. Plus, 4x4 capability is standard across the entire lineup. Be adventure ready with Ford Bronco Sport. Choose FlexBuy on Bronco Sport and get 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $500 FlexBuy cash, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
The Bulls Bands and Barrels Tour invades the Alliant Energy Center on Saturday, September 16th, featuring bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting, with a live performance by Riley Green. Bulls Bands and Barrels Tour, Saturday, September 16th, 7 p.m. at the Alliant Energy Center.
Want a tighter, flatter tummy and the hottest deal of the year? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
After my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me self-conscious.
Emotionally, it was really sad. Feeling good up here, but you look down and you don't.
After having my babies, it went in different direction. From here, it went to here, and I just couldn't get rid of that.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
I got the tummy tuck results without the tummy tuck downtime.
And I finally got the flat stomach I wanted.
I'm able to get back in my size 8 jeans. I feel sexy, I feel confident.
But it feels good to feel good and look good.
Schedule your free no-obligation consultation now and find out how to get your dream body on your budget with our best offer of the year. Call or go to sonobello.com and get exclusive access to our employee-only pricing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Non-drowsy Claritin knocks out symptoms from over 200 allergens without knocking you out. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Live Claritin Clear.
Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale has been extended. There's still time to get huge savings throughout the store, plus hundreds of amazing bonus buys, like a Queen Beauty Rest $3.99, this dining table $3.99, a queen bed $9.19, or this sectional $9.99, and take up to 40% off patio. Make it even easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. Steinhaffel's biggest Labor Day sale, so big we had to extend it. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
When our clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, yes! Everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. And that's why they all start dancing. Woo!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Last week, all Wisconsin did was face ranked opponents. 3 teams in the top 25 and 3 big wins for the Badgers. Tonight, though, the top-ranked team kind of had a night off with unranked Arizona in town. November of 2021 was the last time UW lost a regular season match at the Fieldhouse. That streak was never in jeopardy. First set, Devin Robinson gets up to get down for the kill. She finished with 9, and that point got the party started. Then later in the set, MJ Hamill to Anna Schmeck. And that's a smack. Badgers break out the brooms. They win in straight sets. The season of firsts continues for Luke Fickell on Saturday when his Badgers hit the road for the first time. It will also be UW's first night game of the season, too. Now, the best thing about playing away from Camp Randall, road trips force the team to bond. It's an us versus them versus the world mentality the Badgers are taking to Pullman, and they want nothing more than to silence the roughly 33,000 screaming Cougar fans.
I think one of the coolest things about college football is the energy. You know, whether that's for you or against you, it's something that's really fun. So I think if you embrace that, it also just makes it easier.
You almost feel like you take the wind out of the other team's sails, especially playing at their place. You know, it's an advantage when you can take the crowd out of it, and that's an added challenge. You know, you love hearing the opposing crowd because you know, like, it's going to be a game, it's going to be a dogfight. So I can't wait.
Meanwhile, in Green Bay, some good news for Jordan Love. Romeo Doubs was back at practice in a limited capacity for the first time in 2 weeks as the Packers prepare for their season opener against the Bears. You know, the team who Aaron Rodgers dominated. Well, Love really isn't focused on that record. He's, you could say in a word, excited that his time as QB1 begins in 3 days.
I'm excited for it. You know, I mean, it's always exciting to, you know, open the season, get the first game on rolling. But for an NFC opponent, you know, rivalry game, it'll be very exciting playing there in their stadium. So I'm sure it'll be a packed house. Everybody will be excited for week 1 and ready to put on a show.
High school football, Columbus hosting Lake Mills in a Capital Conference clash. Cardinals up 7 in the second and get a little tricky. Connor Roche takes the handoff and goes 35 yards untouched to the house to make it 21-7 Columbus. Then later in the quarter, it's Peyton Powers who shows off his arm. Off the play action, he drops a tutty dime on Riley Knockreiner. Columbus stays perfect with a 49-7 win. We're back after this.
Dear Sharp Curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota. Let's go places.
Elevate your savings at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, and office chairs and earn up to $1,500 credit toward the purchase of additional stressless furniture. Or receive $400 off the purchase of any stressless signature base or cross-base recliner and ottoman. Don't wait. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer are living longer with Kisqali. So long live family time, long live dreams, and long live you. Kisqali is a pill proven to help women live longer when taken with an aromatase inhibitor. And Kisqali helps preserve quality of life, so you're not just living, you're living well. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Long live hugs and kisses. Ask about Kisqali and long live life.
You've got this. You didn't think your sister would take you up on the dog sitting offer, but here you are. Barriers? Purchased. Doggy distractions? No expense spared. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So when you have to make a purchase, or 7, to prepare, you can be sure we're looking out for you. So you can look out for him. You've got this with Associated Bank.
Are you sweating over high energy bills? Windows drafty or broken? Champion is here to help. With our 70th anniversary sale, buy 2 windows, get 2 free.
At Champion, we design new windows specific to your home's needs. Then they are built in our very own factory, installed by a team of professionals, and guaranteed for a lifetime by our best-in-class warranty.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
Dear sharp curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wisconsin Huddle, Friday nights at 6:30.
Well, check it out. Divers with the Savannah, Georgia Fire Department were undergoing some training. This was off the coast of Tybee Island when they came across a pod of dolphins swimming in the area, trying to see, what are you guys doing down here? This is our terrain. Well, you can see the diver wearing the body camera point out the dolphin pod as it passes by before the dolphins decide to move on, change in direction, and swim away. But you talk about a work day that you'd never forget. That's a different one.
Well, normally you have to pay for that.
Yeah, that's like a trip to SeaWorld. It costs $60 a head. Final check of the forecast. We're staying cool.
Staying cool. It's still not so bad. I mean, you could jump in the lake still. The lake is actually warmer than the air temperature in some cases. That's why you get some of that steam like we saw there in Lake Mills. Thanks, Tanya, again, for sending us that photo. Lows tonight, 55. 55 is pretty popular across Dane County. All of southern Wisconsin will be in the middle to upper 50s. And then as we go into your Friday, if we can't get those clouds to clear, then the temperatures stay in the upper 60s to around 70. If they do, we'll get a little warmer.
Gonna be a nice night for high school football.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like. We'll have all those highlights tomorrow for you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great night.